Hello there and welcome to our channel. My name is Elena.
And I'm Fotios, and this is the Game Court.
Today we are going through our top 30 and we're on our second video, and this is going to be 21 to 11?
20 to 11.
20 to 11.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes, 10 videos for today. So our top 20, what's our top 20?
What's our top 20? What's our top 20?
It's Legacies.
Oh, oh my goodness. It is a box.
So Legacies is a very underestimated game.
I don't think we've seen very many people playing or mentioning Legacies, and
No.
how did you bump into it?
Well, it's a bit of a funny story. This is the deluxe edition of Legacies, which was on Kickstarter a few years back, and I didn't play it back then, but I was really fan of the coins that it has, the metal coins.
Oh, it has some metal coins that are they're little, what you call them?
Like metal bars, like gold bars.
Like gold bars.
Yes.
They're so beautiful and they're so heavy. I mean, the quality, the production of this game is absolutely exquisite.
And they were on a convention, and somebody was selling this, and I just got basically for the coins, which is a bit crazy. And then a friend of mine, Rhys, was thinking, "Oh, it's a good game. Let's play it." But then we played it, and then we loved it.
And now here it is in our top 30.
Our top 20 actually, right?
Yeah, not even.
Yeah. So this is a big heavy game, which has a bit of Lacerda vibes. So it's you do an action and then kind of explodes. So it has this interesting mechanic that you have some cards in your hand, but there are also some common cards there. So you may play an action from your hand, or you may change a card and do an action from the common cards there.
So we say multi-use cards?
Yes. Yeah, each card has several actions you can do. You can choose one of them basically. You can create relationships with other players. You can do some stock market, sell stocks, sell shares or buy shares.
There's the global market in the middle as well.
Trading. It's called the trading.
The global trading, yeah.
You may
you
collect resources.
Stuff, yeah.
You may buy heirlooms from yourself or from your other players. It has several nice elements here and goes over 3 centuries basically. It goes over 6 generations.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting game.
Every there are unequal characters. You have different powers. Every character has different asymmetric characters.
I think you have. I don't remember how many characters you have. I want to say you have 10 characters. I want to say, and each character has this over and underboard. So it has an ability basically, and this ability may be a bit peaceful, or if you flip it aside.
You can be a good character or a bad character.
Yes, I take that ability kind of, which is also a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same character.
You can invest your money in your friend, because you can be friends with somebody or enemy with somebody or neutral. You can invest your money and your how do you call them, little bags of money?
The shares.
The shares, you can invest your shares into somebody that you're friends with. It might cost you more to actually do something with somebody that you're enemies. It's all in all, it's a very, very interesting game. Something that I've not bumped into already.
Yes.
Different.
And for a difference, it plays up to 6. Because most of the very complex, heavy games play up to 4 players. So this is up to 6 players, which is also interesting. So far I've played only a 3-player count, but I would be very intrigued to try it in 4 and 5 to see how it goes.
Oh, we'll try it and then we'll tell you how it's gone. But yes.
So this is our top 20?
Legacies.
Legacies, yes.
Next on our list is a very small game compared to what we've showed you already, like Legacies, for example. But I think it's such a nice game that I think it deserves to be in top 20. This is Red Cathedral. It's a 1 to 4 game. Players, yeah, obviously. I don't know who made this game. I'm really sorry. Shay and Isra. I don't know what their names are. I'm really sorry. I'm just going to leave it there. Red Cathedral. I'm not 100% sure how we acquired this game, but for whatever reason it ended up in our collection. I think it was... Oh, was it a trade as well?
Yeah, it was
definitely a second-hand game. We played it and it was a very, very nice... We played it at 4 at the beginning. It's basically what you do is you have a rondel with actions, and you have a lot of dice around, and you select your action. You can move your dice based on the pip value of them, and then you can take the action. You can enhance it or not, depends on whether that's your colored die or not, and you take that action. Is basically resource management, where you exchange resources to get money or buy resources to get resources. sell resources to buy resources.
So effectively, you try to build a cathedral, right?
Yeah,
The
that's
different
the whole
levels of the
idea.
cathedral.
Yeah,
And you try
you
to
get
build,
little contracts.
Yes, correct. Different levels and decorations and windows and roofs like that. But yeah, for me the most unique aspect is as you move the dice around, where the dice lands, the strength of the action effectively depends on how many dice are on that location.
Oh yeah, because you can get
Yes.
1 gem or 2 if
Yes.
you're the second die that goes there, or the third one, you get 3
Three
gems,
gems
which
and
is
so on.
quite impressive because
Yeah.
everything is scarce like everywhere else.
So overall, a very interesting game, and also comes in a small box if you are in scarce of space.
Mhm.
So that's the cathedral, and this is our number 20. 19.
No, 29. We've done it in the last video.
19.
Number 19.
Our number 18 is a new game, 2022 release. It's called Woodcraft. It's designed by Vladimir Suchi and Ross Arnold. And in this game, which is basically a very, very thematic game, it's one of the most thematic games I think we have, you deal with wood, which is represented by die, and you try to construct different items, complete different orders, basically, and by that you get some contracts, but you also try to improve your reputation, because the reputation also matters when it comes to how many points the contracts will count at the end of the game. This game, I really love it because it has very interesting dice manipulation, and which is also very thematic at the same time. So let's say you have a 5-value die, which you might cut it down with a saw blade to a 3 and a 2, or you might glue together to a higher value die, or you might apply scrap wood to increase the pip value. Very thematic game, very interesting puzzle. I don't think we have played it enough yet.
But it's definitely we played it enough to know that it's definitely in our top 20.
Top 20, yes.
It does have very different mechanics, as you said, in regards to the dice. We've not seen them before, and it might be that we don't know enough. Maybe you can tell us whether you've seen them anywhere else. But for us, it was definitely a novelty, and I think it definitely deserves a top 20.
Yes, it's a very nice game. Woodcraft, our number 18.
Number 17 is Ultimate Railroads. This ginormous box that we bought from, what convention did we go to?
It was the UKGE convention.
UKG convention. We managed to find the whole set of the Ultimate Railroads, 1 to 4 game. It's technically a train game where you try to improve your tracks. You have different colored tracks, from like the cheapest to the most expensive, which is a golden track. And you have this... You have this where you can combine different perks and different help me a little. Combination. You have these little combinations that cascade onto the other and the other, and then 15 minutes after you're still going through your combinations. You've not even done your main action. You're still combining stuff, and it's very bountiful, and it's very satisfactory when you manage to do one of these combinations, and it happens in every single game.
Yes, because if you improve your track here, it might give you an idea token, which might allow you to take a few more actions, which might give you another idea token, which might allow you to do a few more actions, and so on and so forth. The basic of the game is worker placement.
Yes.
You have your workers. I think you start with 5 or 6 workers depending on the player count, but you can also get more workers as the game progresses, and using these workers you can do different actions. Also this is the ultimate railroad that includes everything inside, which is the Russian railroads, American railroads, German,
Chinese railroads,
Asian railroads, yes. And we have only played really the Russian and the German railroads.
Somebody needs to teach us.
That's me. So yes, we still need to play American and Asian railroads, and from the looks they both look very interesting. But this also box comes with all the promos and expansions that have been published and modules that have been published over the years. This is our number 18.
Ultimate Railroad.
No, 17. 17. Ultimate Railroad.
We're just gonna make us cabbage out of this. We're gonna put it at the bottom. Yes. Whatever is at the bottom, Ultimate Railroad.
Our number 16 is Troa, a game designed by 3 guys. I will not even attempt to pronounce the names. Javier Georges is one name, Alain Urban and Sébastien Duyardin. It's a pretty interesting game in that you have your workers
You're in a city. Traffic is a
Yes.
city, isn't it?
Yes, and you have your the dice that represent different types of workers, like a military or clerics or citizens and so on and so forth. And the pip value of the die is basically how strong the person is. But you have your own die from in your own district, but you also have you can also
Your neighbours over there.
yes, you can also buy dice from other districts if you wish. You can buy Elena's dice, but Elena will get the money, so she will benefit from that. And then you can use this die to do different actions across the game. Even the actions and how you take the benefit from the actions is quite interesting because you take the benefit depending on the sum of the value of the die. So you may take one benefit multiple times, or less times. Overall, it's a very interesting game and quite unique from whatever else we have. We were a bit afraid in the beginning to obtain this game because of this take that aspect.
Oh god, yeah, I don't like a very much like take that games that destroy my karma. I cannot be dealing with that. So I need to be away from the negativity and away from direct conflict. It's not my cup of tea. But we watched a review on YouTube, and it was mentioned that, it's not really like that, and I was not very open to it, and then we played it and I was like, wow, what an amazing game. And now it's in our collection and it's probably going to stay here for a while. I mean, it does have a little element of work placement as well, which is not particularly pronounced, but it does give you some different perks. Depends on what kind of strategy you want to develop. You can develop your military, or you can develop your cleric, and you can manipulate these people. It's not a thing that you do every round, but you can definitely manipulate them in a way that benefits whatever you want to do most.
The variability of this game is insane because you also have these activity cards, which are basically completely different in every game. And if you get the expansion of this game, the Ladies of Tra, you get even more activity cards. So the possibilities of what the board will look like is quite very high. And the other thing that I really like about this game is that at the beginning of the game, you start with some secret objectives. Each player in a 2-player game, you start with 2 objectives. In a 3 or 4-player game, you start with 1 objective. But the thing is that every objective is going to be evaluated for every player at the end of the game. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of objective Elena has during the game, so I'm quite powerful in that. So, for instance, have a lot of money or have a lot of influence at the end of the game.
I mean, most of the times it's obvious when somebody's trying their best to do something in one area or trying to collect lots of money, and you become suspicious and you're like, why do you have so much money and you don't spend it? And it's probably because, he has that card. So you catch up quickly.
So yeah, this is our number 16. Troa.
Number 15. Anno 1800, designed by Martin Wallace, published by Cosmos Games, is a 2 to 4 player game. This is one of our favorite publishers. No, let me try again. Favorite designers.
Yes.
And we have quite a few games from him. We've tried most of his games, and a few of them are still in our collection. We'll probably stay here for a while. This is a very interesting. I think what we're presenting in this top 30. And the games that we kept in our collection are games that have different mechanics, very unique mechanics, and most of them are very well integrated throughout their
with a
theme. So Anno is one of them. You are an industrialist and you are trying to build better and better manufacturing. You start with stuff like canned goods, sausages, clothes and stuff like that. You have people in your hands. There are people that are farmers like
workers,
simpler
artisans,
people, and then they go further up to engineers,
to investors, I think, or capitalists. Yes.
Every single card gives you have to satisfy that card, and that will give you some benefits. And it's a cascade of I need to invest in this industry and in this industry that you obviously buy with your things. It's a worker placement as well, where you take your workers that you've obviously taken from your cards, and you place them in different industries, and then from there you build better industries and better industries and better industries. It has this little element of
it's a tech tree basically. So yes, you start from somewhere and you start expanding slowly, trying to improve your civilization. You may start doing some trading with native people over there as well.
Yeah, and you have trading amongst each other as well. You can exchange stuff. Obviously, you have to pay for them. It doesn't come out of your pocket, which is good. But you can trade with your the other players as well.
Yeah, so it's very common during the game. Do you produce sausages? Sausages.
Who
produces?
Who has the clothes?
Okay, and it's a very nice game because everybody's. If Elena produces sausages and I don't, Elena will get a gold and I will get my sausages for instance.
So it's a perk for everybody.
Yes. And basically in this game, you have your cards, which are your workers, and as Elena said, you try to satisfy them. And the one to satisfy them first is the one who triggers the end of the game, basically. So your end objective is to get rid of all your cards.
Which doesn't necessarily mean that you will win the game. Sometimes you will want to go through the cards faster, and because you're in a very good position, but sometimes you go through the cards, you don't even realize that you've actually not built to what you needed to build, because how it counts, how does it score at the end? Cards that you've built score at the end?
Yes, cards that satisfy the score.
Yeah.
But also there is this element of exploration, and there are also some public objectives cards that will also score, depending if you have built a particular manufacturing. Several things score, so it's not a guarantee that if you finish the game first, you're going to
the winner.
But still, there's a race element over there, I would say. So this game, in the beginning, it might drag to 3 hours, but as you start playing it more and more and more, it might be down to an hour and a half max. Yes, it's a very interesting game, very different from whatever else we have. It's Anno 1800, our top 15.
Number 15.
Our number 14 is Handrian's Wall, a game designed by Bobby Hill and published by Renegade Games and Garfield Games. Basically, this is very heavy flip and write game, not roll and write, flip and write basically. You have 2 big sheets, which looks like Excel sheet basically.
Yeah.
When you first see it, oh my god, there's a lot of happening here. But in essence, the game is quite easy to grasp and understand.
Yeah.
And you have also, because as a flipper, right, it has all of these combinations that are happening around, so you have
always
some
feels
workers.
very satisfying. It's a lot of satisfaction there, isn't it?
You have 6 rounds in the game, 6 years, whatever it is, and to build Handrian's Wall, basically, and you're a commander which builds a particular aspect of the Handrian's Wall. But as you build the wall, you also develop a city within that area of the wall. So you have your citizens, you may create a theater, you may create some baths which allow to do some bribes. It's very nice.
Very well integrated, well integrated theme as well.
Very well, yes. And whatever you do basically gives you another benefit, and around may last quite a long time basically.
I mean, normally the game says that you should play it at the same time, rounds. But I find it very very nice, and it's very satisfying to watch Fortis's game, to see how he plays his game, and we normally take turns of one at a time, so we can at least observe each other.
Yes. It takes a bit longer, but it's more fun.
Yeah. At least it's inclusive rather than just tick some boxes and finish the game. It's better to play it for us at least like that.
It plays 1 to 6. The box says, but I don't think I would play it more than 3. Basically, I think it plays very well, but it's also a very good solo game if you want to play it solo. Yes, it's very easy. It's a very solitary game. So if you like roll and write games, and if you wanted to step up a little bit,
this is the one.
Handrian's Wall, our top 14, number 14.
Number 13, Paladins.
Of the West Kingdom.
Published by Garfield Games. It's from the same collection. We've tried all the other ones. We've tried Architects. We've tried
Viscounts. We presented in the previous video.
Viscounts. We have Raiders as well. Out of their collection. I mean, we've tried most of their games.
And Wayfarers.
And Wayfarers as well. Yeah, some of them are still in our collection. Not in our top 30, but still very loved games. 1 to 4 game. 1 to 4 player game. It plays.
Best in 2.
I mean, there is barely any interaction between the players. You're technically a paladin that is trying to build. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think the theme is entirely there, I would say.
But again, I think mechanically is fairly sound and strong.
Yes.
So I think this is why it's still in our collection.
Yes.
But it's technically a worker placement where you can get some people to help you around. To build some stuff, you can build your garrison, you can build your help me a little.
It's the fortify action. You can build your
you can fortify the castle.
Yes, it has the garrison. It has something called absolve action, which is has also the cleric action, however it's called.
You can collect other people, like you can get other people to help you around,
Yes.
Either from the town folks or from the warriors.
Yes, or you can go kill the warriors basically.
You can go in a fight with the warriors, and then whatever loot, whatever they give you. I think it sounds very aggressive, but it's a very peaceful game, and I think because it's very little interaction, we like playing turns one at a time so we can observe the other, and I think this is how the game presents, but it does work very well for us. And it's a game that now takes not that long for us, but it's not the easiest game to learn because it has a lot of little elements that you need to remember.
Yeah, for me it's one of the most complex games from these guys. In each turn what you try to do basically is how can I get one more worker to do one more extra action.
Yeah.
And you have these different colors of workers which they have the particular names, but we call them red worker or blue worker or green worker or whatever.
I mean the purple worker the most important because that's the wild.
The wild, yes.
Everyone knows that.
That's the how's it called? Criminal.
The thief,
criminal, yes. But this is what you try to do again. You try to squeeze one worker from somehow to get one more action in, to go as further as you can within the round. And effectively try to satisfy some king's orders there, which is your common objective.
This is technically how it scores at the end.
We also tried the City of the Crowns expansion, which adds basically 2 more locations, 2 more actions in the game. And it didn't stay with us. I mean, we didn't dislike it per se, but we felt it adds a bit more unnecessary complexity to the game. We prefer the game as is, the base game, and we will always play like that. So that's our number 13.
Paladins.
Our number 12 is Concordia. It's a game that I really love to teach because it's basically as simple as play a card and do what the card says. It's as simple as that. So you have a deck of cards, everyone starts with the same deck of cards, and basically we try to explore and colonize Europe, build some cities around, and produce in different areas. Also you try to collect resources, you try to trade.
Collect better cards,
collect cards, exactly.
The more cards you have, the more actions you can take.
Yes, I really like the aspect of the game that when you produce in a province, if Elena has presence there, Elena will also go to produce in this province, so everybody's happy.
Yay!
Yeah. You also have a card called the Diplomat, which allows you to copy an action made by an opponent. And every time you run out of cards, basically you collect all the cards and get some money based on how many cards you played. Very interesting game. I like this, play the card and do whatever the card says, basically. And the other thing is that as you start with some cards, but you collect more cards as the game progresses, and each card has a scoring condition. So the more cards you collect, the more points you're going to score at the end of the game. So what do you like about this game?
I like that it's very easy to learn, and it's pretty straightforward. And you can always build a tactic. It depends on who you play with. You can build a different tactic with them. And it comes with a lot of maps, which gives it a lot of variability. I like the most thing I like about this game is a very strong market aspect where you trade. The trade is quite strong in this game because this is how you normally get your resources or your money. Market is very important, and I feel this game defines it very well.
Elena usually goes for cloth.
Cloth all the way.
It's the most valuable good to trade. And I remember last time we played, you said, "Oh, I think I found a new strategy. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to try it again."
Well, I don't really win in this game very often because I let myself drift into. I don't keep a strategy for very long. I don't know why, but I won last time we played.
Yes.
And it was very satisfactory and it was very satisfying, And
yeah.
That's it.
And also plays 1 to 5 players. So if you want a game that does not have this 4-player limitation, that's also a good game to explore. Again, easy to introduce to people. That's Concordia, our number 12.
Number 11 and the last game in this video is Caverna, a table hog, but it's a very beautiful table hog, which we firstly were introduced to in a convention. That is
Aircon convention.
Aircon convention, and we played it at a high count at that point. This game plays 1 to 7, is an Uwe Rosberg game, published by Lookout Games. We played it at 6 at that point,
Yes.
and it was the first time when we played it. I don't know, it might be that the experience that we've had at that point.
It was such a good experience.
It was so good, and the guy that explained this game to us, thank you very, very much. I wish I could remember your name now, but we'll probably mention you in the next video.
Olive. No, I'm not sure maybe.
Not sure.
No.
But he did such a good game with this, with such a good job with this game that it's in our collection and it's in our top 30 now. It's basically, you are a caveman, you're a farmer, and you're trying to develop your cave and as well as develop your farm so you can feed your people and grow your farm so you have, survive.
And also have your animals there.
Yeah, you get your animals that you could kill for food. You get your wheat and your pumpkins that you can grow to eat, either trade them or you can eat them. You have to build your cave so you can have babies in there.
But you can also go for exploration.
Because the thing is, you can either just be your caveman and do your thing over there, grow your family and your farm, or you can become a warrior, right?
Yeah, become a warrior. Yes.
And some of them do become a warrior. I mean, I think the game does tell you that if somebody becomes a warrior, you should probably become a warrior because you're going to lose the game if you don't. So, if your neighbor is a warrior, you have to be a warrior too. So you have to follow with that. And I think in exploration, you have a little cheat card that gives you different resources. It depends on how upgraded you are on your exploration level. And that's another way of getting resources like pumpkins, like animals, like stuff like that. That basically it all comes to you're a farmer in a cave and you're trying to develop your cave and your farm.
Yes, in the course, again, a worker placement game, and
Definitely.
we like worker placement games. And as the game progresses, more worker placement options become available. There is a very similar game called Agricola by the same designer, and we haven't tried that one yet, but we really like Caverna. I'm not sure how we're going to feel about Agricola if we ever try it, but we really like Caverna, and this is our number 11, Caverna the Cave Farmers.
Righty, so this was top 20 to 11.
Yep.
And this is our second video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you would want to watch the next 10 to 1?
10 to 1, yes.
10 to 1, so that's the last video to this series. We're going to post it up quickly soon. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you later.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.